Hi there everybody and welcome along to the big quiz night in. Tonight it is episode 39. Another small little milestone is on the way, and tonight we have three more great rounds for you. As you can see up here again, I've put the rounds you could expect tonight. I say 3 rounds. There is 4, but of course with the 4th round we always share a picture round after the three quiz rounds of the live show is finished. So we're just going to welcome all the people who want to watch live, and then we'll be starting with our first round. I always start about 1:45, and so if you are watching a repeat of this, then you need to skip ahead about maybe 10 minutes or so, and we'll get started with the first questions. Abby, my daughter, will be here to ask that first question of the show, and then we'll crack on with round number 1, which, as you can see up there, is a potluck round. I've also had a bit of a shift around as to what images are where, and there's a very special reason for that, which I'll be explaining later on. Maybe some of you have seen this picture before, see if you remember it, and we'll be talking about it soon. But yeah, we've got 3 quiz rounds coming your way very soon. It's going to be a lot of fun again. I have missed doing this show. We had the Patreon quiz last week, so I wasn't live then. That was good fun though. We did a brand new game I've created called Quiz-Tac-Toe. That was a lot of fun and it worked really well, so I'm really pleased with that. But every Tuesday, apart from the last Tuesday of the month, is when I'll be doing these live broadcasts for you all, so you can sit back, relax and enjoy a 3-round quiz, and you don't even have to tell me what you think the answers are for all these questions. It's just for fun. You just have to tell me, if you want to, what the scores were that you got at the end of each round. And that's how it works. So I'll be asking those questions very soon, and we've been doing this since the lockdown started. I am now back hosting the pub quiz at the King's Head and Bell on Thursdays and Sundays, which is when I started hosting these shows, of course. But because we are easing that lockdown now around the world, really, but certainly around here at least, I'm back hosting the quiz at the pub on both Thursdays and Sundays, which means I wanted to do Tuesdays as the quiz that I do on Facebook Live for all of you, because you're not all able to come to the pub, and I recognise that. So what I'm going to do now also is jump into the comments and see who's joining, so we can have a chat with everybody and see if we can get some of our regular teams back and watching and playing along with the quiz. And I'm going to start sharing it out there as well, like I normally do, through all the usual places before we make a start with this evening's pub quiz. So let me just get that out there now, and let me know in the comments how you're all doing and what you're all drinking. I know it's a Tuesday night. Not many people tend to go out drinking on a Tuesday night, but maybe you're having a drink on joining me for the pub quiz. I am drinking a bit of San Miguel tonight, getting in the mood, getting in the pub quiz spirit, having a cheeky San Miguel or 2. Yeah, so I'm just sharing that link out there now, and I will be in the comments very soon to talk to you all. Hopefully we'll have a good turnout tonight. It is a bit tricky with it being on Tuesdays, and it's only just starting out on Tuesday nights. It's the 2nd one we've done. So we shall see how it all goes. But yeah, that link has now been shared everywhere. And we are good. Okay, right. Yes, so Abby will be coming in a bit to do a question. And then we will crack on with the first round, which will be potluck. Half a dozen will join from Sardinia. Goodness me, that's fantastic. Welcome to you all. Yeah, I will look forward to catching up with you all in the comments. It feels like it's been a long time since I've spoken to you guys. I hope you're all well. And how on earth are things over in Sardinia? Are you having fun over there? Sounds amazing. Very brave going abroad through all this. I hope you get back okay. Can't imagine it's fun going on a plane and having to wear a mask and all that stuff. Doesn't sound fun to me, but I hope you have a great holiday anyway. And thank you for joining. Who else have we got? Get yourselves in the comments. Let's have a chat before we start. I've got a couple of things to waffle on about, as always. Not too much tonight, but I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about as more people join. But I've got a couple of things I want to talk to you about, that's for sure. One of which will be related to this here. And it is, it's very quiet here. I imagine it would be. Yeah, I can't imagine there's a great deal of people rushing to go away on holiday. But hey, at least you've got a pub quiz now you can enjoy while you're out there. That's the best thing. And that's going to be fun. Yeah, so I've got a couple of things I want to talk about later on. We're going to be talking about that, the waffle on thing, and there was one other thing. I'll check my notes in a moment and remind myself whilst we welcome new people on to the quiz. We'll be starting at 8 o'clock. If you are new, There's plenty on this page, plenty of quiz stuff to keep you occupied. If you give the page a follow, there's not just my quiz live videos, there's picture rounds as well. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me there, and it's all free stuff you can have and share with your friends and family. Loads of quiz stuff. I'm also on a new platform called Limor, where I've been sharing an audio clip of a quiz every day. Normally it's 3 questions, which I share, and then you can listen to and have a guess if you wanted to. And again, that's all freely available. So plenty of things to keep you occupied if you like a bit of pub quiz action. I've hosted them for a long time, so it is good to be able to give this back to people after so many years of still hosting them at the pubs. To be able to do it online now is a lot of fun. So I hope you stick around for it. And yeah, when we get to about 8 o'clock, we'll be starting. So I just start a bit earlier so that I can welcome all the people on board. Tracy says, hi everyone, seems like such a long time since the last quiz. Hope everyone's well. It really does, Tracy, but I'll tell you what, it's only been 2 weeks. Because we had the Patreon quiz last week, so we obviously miss it then. But yeah, that means it's been 2 weeks, but it really does feel like a lot longer. But hey, we're back, and we'll be here every Tuesday until the last Tuesday of September. And I think I'm right in saying, there are 5 Tuesdays in September. So you're going to get 4 in a row on Facebook Live, and then on the 29th it'll be for the Patreons again. So that's not so bad, is it? That's not so bad at all. Who else have we got here this evening? James says, good evening. Hello to you. Evening all. Yes, welcome, James. Still not got that top fan badge. I'm hoping that these next 4 quizzes in a row, obviously I'll be posting a lot of different things, James. If you comment and share and keep doing your thing, maybe you'll get your top fan badge this month. We shall see. There hasn't been, because I did the Patreon quiz, there hasn't been that much movement in top fans because Facebook won't have seen much activity on my page with people commenting and things. So I can't imagine there'll be much changes. So yes, and 4 weeks in a row, James. You got 4 weeks in a row. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, who else have we got here this evening? Does anybody else want to say hello in the chat? Feel free to make yourself known. If you're new to the quiz, come up with a fun quiz team name if you don't mind. And then when we get to the end of each quiz round and you let me know how well you scored, after I've given you the answers, of course, you can put your team name in and tell me what your score is. And we can celebrate with the winners and then the people who did really well. And we can commiserate with the people who didn't. It's entirely up to you, though, if you do post it. A lot of people just like to watch along and see how they do. Good evening to Amanda, welcome. I hope you and Ed and everybody are well. Tonight, Amanda, you're going to get your Patreon question. That's coming up. I will be dropping that in later on. So thank you for joining. James says, Erasure news later. Really? Wow. James's favourite band, everybody, Erasure. What could it possibly be? I wonder. Is it about them, a new album, maybe? A new tour planned? Andy's here as well. Welcome, Andy. Thank you for joining me. I'm curious to see how busy tonight's going to be. It's been a while since we've done one of these, as I was just saying. So, yeah, we shall see. But yeah, do stick around. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We always have a laugh, don't we? It just feels like it's been so long. Even though 2 weeks has flown by, it feels like it's been so long since I've been able to sit here and chat to you guys. Bless you. Yeah, Abby's here in the background waiting to come in and give you her question to start things off. Okay. Hi to Roz, welcome along. Do we have the rest of Cell Marketeers joining? Ed says good morning. Good morning. I hope you're doing well, mate. Amanda says, yay, cannot remember what I asked for, but yay still. Oh, it's okay. You'll find out. It'll be a nice surprise for you. I think it's quite an interesting question I've come up with as well, actually, for this one. But yeah, if you didn't realise, anybody that's new, with my Patreon at certain levels, you can have your own question on whatever subject you want thrown into the quiz. And then at a slightly higher level, you can have an entire quiz round dedicated to a subject that you would like. And that tonight is happening with round number 3. We've got Inner Geekdom as round 3, and it's a special Inner Geekdom because it's all about, or mostly about, subjects that a particular Patreon wanted in this round. So, yeah, hopefully they'll be able to join us later on. They haven't turned up yet, but they normally join about past. So we shall see. Luke's joined. He says, hi, Chris. Hello to Luke. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. I think perhaps once we get into the rhythm of these Tuesday quizzes being the new thing that we're doing here, people will slowly, hopefully, come back. But it's going to be a pretty quiet one, I think, tonight, judging by the attendance at the moment. We shall see how it goes, though. As always, we hope people will join. I know that there'll be people joining about 8:30. Some people have to get their kids to bed, and it takes a bit longer than others, so they tend to join from round 2 onwards. So we shall see what happens there. But yes, welcome to Luke. Glad you could join us. Who else do we have joining us for the quiz this evening? With 3 minutes to go to 8 o'clock. And then we shall be kicking off with Abby's question, our first little question of the evening. Tracy says, picture round sounds fun. I'm currently working my way through every series of RuPaul's Drag Race, slightly obsessed with it at the minute. Do you know, there's somebody else who watches who's into that show as well. And a few weeks back, we did a Drag Kings picture round, which I randomly had. And then I promised I'd do this equivalent round as soon after as I could. And I suddenly remembered that I could do that tonight. And so, yeah, I threw that one in there. And it's, yeah, it's quite fun. Yeah. It's basically, you know, you've got you've got actors who portrayed women in film. And they're obviously in drag and you have to work out who they are. That's basically what it is. But it's quite funny. Tony from Marbella has joined. How are we doing? Holla to you. Hope you're doing well, Tony. Hope you're keeping well over there. I haven't spoken to Bill actually about tonight. I hope he can join us as well. But if not, welcome. Glad you're here. And we're just creeping over 20 viewers, which is nice, I think, for the first one back after that little break we've had. So yeah, that's good. We'll see how it goes. Couple of minutes to go until 8 o'clock, and then we'll kick off with Abby's question. Haley Hall says, just here to check the beard progress. Oh, I'll stick around for longer than that. Honestly, Haley. Yeah, it's going all right. It's going all right. For those who don't know, I started on January 1st clean shaven. I'm growing it for the whole year. And the only thing I'm trimming is this bit up here to keep it out of my mouth. But I need to do that again, actually. It's been a while. But yeah, thank you. I reckon by the end of the year, you won't be able to see it. It's going to grow out of shot, isn't it? Because it's almost there now. I might have to adjust the camera. Or maybe sit further back. I don't know. But that's how it's looking right now. Thank you for checking in, though. Hope you're well. Do stick around, though, if you can. We've got some usual 3 quiz rounds coming up. Random selection as always. Diva's here now. Hello to Diva, another one of my lovely Patreons. Hope you are doing well. I've just seen you respond to my little quiz actually over on Limor. I haven't listened to it yet, obviously, because I was about to go live, but thank you for doing that as always, and I look forward to seeing what your answers are. I posted an entire music round again, in Limor today, which means you've got 15 clips of songs, 1 point for the title, 1 point for the artist or group that released it. And it's the entire music round that I hosted on Sunday's pub quiz. So for those who couldn't be there in person, you can go there and listen. You can also find that in the Top Fan group on Facebook, or you could find it actually on this page. I posted them on the main page for season 3 as well. Right, 1 minute to go. We're almost at 8 o'clock, and then we're going to make a start with Abby's question, and then we'll go straight into the next round. In fact, it has now ticked over to 8 o'clock. So take the headphones off. No. Yeah, take them off. Take them off. Take them off. You don't need that one. Abby's going to come in and ask her question. For this one, come say hello. For this question, you need to put the answer in the comments. It's the only question of the evening you do that for. For everything else, you just keep it to yourself, all right?
It's a different kind of one this time.
It's a different kind of question this time as well, yeah. It's one you need to have a complete random guess at. Diva says hi. So,
Diva.
Abby's going to ask her question. The answers are a choice of A, B or C, and she'll say what all 3 are. The first person to say A, B or C, whichever they want to guess correctly in the comments, will get themselves a bonus point, if you like. And it's a great way of kicking the evening off. James has posted the Erasure news. We'll come to that as soon as we've got Abby's question out of the way. So get ready to put A, B or C in the comments, and I will post the question in the comments as well, so you all get it at the same time. Abby, are you ready to read this? Yeah. Okay, go.
Question. What's my favourite dessert? Is it A, lemon drizzle cake, B, chocolate croissants, or C, apple crumble with custard?
Very well done. It is in the comments as well. Post A, B or C. What do you think her favourite dessert is? Do you want to say the options again?
Lemon drizzle cake, A. B, chocolate croissants. C, an apple crumble with custard.
Now, we do all like all of those, of course, but one of them is her favourite. Let's see who's the first person to guess the correct answer, because we have had some guesses. So Vernia says C, Hayley says A, James says C, Junior says C as well. Ant's gone for B, Tracy C, Amanda A. Right, so let's see. The first one, let's look at the comments here. The first one to say the correct answer
is Aunt BB.
Aunt BB says B, funnily enough. B is the correct answer. I know, I'm just as surprised as anybody else because I was pretty certain it was going to be C. Considering we had apple and blackberry crumble just now before I went on to the show tonight. But the correct answer is B, Abby's favourite dessert. Andy says A because nobody guessed it so far, apart from, the people that guessed it. Hello to Jace as well, welcome to you. But yes, well done, Ant. You were first guessing the correct answer for Abby's question, which today was about desserts.
Yeah. C is actually just below chocolate croissants. I've always loved croissants.
Yeah.
I love them plain and chocolate, but my favourite's chocolate. You
did good. All right. You going to say goodbye to everybody now then?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate cake, so why would it be chocolate cake? I don't know. It's too strong. Bye.
All right. Love you, darling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Bye, Abby. Thank you guys, thanks for that. And there we go, there's Abby's question. So let's see who else we've got in the comments. And Hayley says hi as well, and Jason says hi, and Diva says bye, Abby. We try and it's lovely that she gets to do this. I really appreciate you guys having a go with that. It's good fun. But yeah, she just wants to stay here the whole time, of course. What else do we have? I think we had Erasure News then. So James's Erasure News is the Neon, the new album, was released on the 26th of August. It reached number 4 in the official album chart. This was their highest chart position for 26 years. Since I say in 1994. More to follow. Goodness me. There you go. There's some good Erasure knowledge. All right, everybody. We're going to go straight into... Now we're up to 33. Lovely. All right, that's more like it. Okay. All right, we're going to go straight into our first round of the evening, which, as you can see, thanks to my handy little guide here, will be the potluck round. So I'm going to ask you these questions one at a time. You get 1 point for each correct answer, unless otherwise stated. And then at the end of the round, I'll ask if you want to have any repeats of any questions, which I will then do for you, as many as I can. And then when I give you the answers at the end, you tally up your scores and give me those scores in the comments. And as I said earlier, we'll celebrate with the winners and we'll commiserate with the people who didn't do quite so well. But remember, it is just for fun, okay? In this particular game, there's no physical prizes I can give you, I'm afraid, because it's just not going to work that way. It doesn't work that way. But that's not to say I won't have any prizes ever. It does happen from time to time, but not in this one. So, here we go then with question number 1, and I'll be looking at the comments as we go through as always, so do keep chatting away. Question 1, which company invented double mint chewing gum? Which company invented double mint chewing gum? That's question number 1. Andy says, writing my answers in the Big Quiz Night In branded notebook. Yes, Andy. If you would like your own Big Quiz Night In branded notebook, it's got that logo on it. And it's a brilliant little notebook you could have. And basically the way to get it is to go to my Patreon. I don't sell them individually unless I have a batch of them in at a discounted rate so I can sell them to you at the lowest rate possible. Last time I managed to get them and sell them on for about £8 a book, but you get one free or included in the top 2 tiers of my Patreon. So if you'd like your own Big Quiz Night In branded notebook, the easiest way to do that right now is to go to my Patreon and have a read through the tiers and see what's right for you. Question number 2, what words do Americans use for what we call a holiday, a wardrobe, and a lift? What words do Americans use for what we call a holiday, a wardrobe, and a lift? 1 point for each. Devises duo going it alone tonight. Welcome to Tony. Devises Uno, sorry, I should say. You're normally duo, yeah. That's unfortunate that on Tuesdays it has to be just you on your own, I'm afraid, but have to do the day we have to do. Ant says, what girl doesn't like chocolate croissants? Yeah, I was sure she was going to say crumble when she said those three to me. Many of you guessed crumble. Obviously, we were wrong there. All of us were wrong. James says the Neon was #1 in the vinyl chart, the cassette chart, and the independent chart. Tour tickets went on sale today for the fans and go on sale this coming Friday in general sale. Wow. Well, I bet you're excited. I presume you've got a ticket or you're going to be getting one, right? Cassette chart? Do they still do cassettes? Really? Question 3. What does the government abbreviation HMRC mean? 1 point for each correct word. What does the government abbreviation HMRC mean? Yeah, well, James, let me know. I'm sure you must be planning to go. You must be planning to go. You're like the #1 fan, aren't you? Tracy says, I thought Abby's eyes lit up when she said crumble. She was sure that was the answer. I know. She does love that too. She does. But apparently she has a thing for chocolate croissants. Who knew? Not me. Ashamed to admit. Right, question number 4 now for you now. Question 4 in our potluck round. Which Prime Minister published the book called Blood, Sweat and Tears? Which Prime Minister published the book called Blood, Sweat and Tears? As always, guys, do not put the answers in the comments. Keep a note of them yourselves, and we'll go through them at the end of the round. Which Prime Minister published the book called Blood, Sweat and Tears? If you're watching along and you haven't given the page a follow yet, please make sure you do that. Stay up to date on everything that's going on here and all the live videos that we do and everything I post. It's all to keep you all entertained, especially during the old pandemic that we've been going through. To help everybody's mental well-being, I hope. It's not for everybody, mind you. Lord knows, I've heard. But yeah, you guys are great. So thank you for being here as always. Question 5 now for you now. Question number 5. Is a Tyrolean grey a type of dog, a type of pig, or a cheese? Is a Tyrolean grey a type of dog, a type of pig, or a cheese? Choose one, but as always, don't put them in the comments. I'm going to probably say that a few times throughout the start of the quiz because I've seen quite a few new names popping up that I don't recognise as regular viewers, so you're welcome to stay, please do. But just so you know, don't chuck the answer in the comments. Question number 6 now. Question 6 is for 3 points. Which are the 3 longest bones in the human body? Which are the 3 longest bones in the human body? 1 point for each. Quite a few points for this round, actually. You'll find there's quite a few multiple points. Normally when we have a potluck round, there's a massive amount of points. Even there's only 15 questions per round, typically. There's quite a few that have got multiple points again with this one. I'm especially looking forward to bringing you round number 3 tonight. That's going to be an interesting one. We'll see how well you do. It's probably a really tricky one for some of you, but I've tried to balance it out based on the subjects that my Patreon request listed. So, question number 7 now. Question 7. Question number 7. What nationalities were the popular literary characters named Count Dracula, Abraham Van Helsing, and their creator, Bram Stoker? What nationalities were the popular literary characters named Count Dracula and Abraham Van Helsing and their creator, Bram Stoker? 1 point for each. 3 different nationalities. Count Dracula, Abraham Van Helsing, and their creator, Bram Stoker. As always, we can do some repeats at the end. So if I do go too quickly through these questions, you'll have a little bit of time at the end when we do some more repeats for people. That's when you can just let me know in the comments which ones you'd like repeated. But we'll do that at the end of the round. Question 8 is for 3 more points. What would a Cockney be speaking about if they mentioned Britney Spears, Johnny Cash, and Andy Murray? According to Cockney slang, what would a Cockney be speaking about if they mentioned Britney Spears, Johnny Cash, and Andy Murray? 1 point for each. Yeah, my wife says in the comments to Tracy that she would eat all 3 in one sitting if we let her. She probably would. She probably would, yeah. We are a very foodie family here. Very fortunate that Chrissy likes to bake and will make all these nice things. So, yes, spoilt rotten sometimes, I tell ya. Question number 9 now. Question number 9. What would a police officer be expecting if he called for an ARV? What would a police officer be expecting if he called for an ARV? You get 1 point for each correct word there as well, so these ones are really worth a guess. Even if you get the answer wrong, but if you get one word right, you still get yourself a point. All right, question number 10 now, question 10. On April Fool's Day in 2019, Liverpool Street, King's Cross and Edinburgh Waverley became the last stations in the UK to abolish which charge? On April Fool's Day in 2019, Liverpool Street, King's Cross and Edinburgh Waverley became the last stations in the UK to abolish which charge? Yes. Yeah, Hayley, you're right. It is something she would bake. Problem is, she bakes quite a lot of different things. So it could easily be any of them. But still, we thought that was quite a fun little question, because she's asked about like Marvel before at the start of the show, and she's asked about Star Wars and Frozen and music that she likes, and yeah, so it's nice to just ask herself a fun little question about her this time. Okay, question 11 for you now. Question 11. Which one-word boys' names were a UK hit single for Lady Gaga, for Tony Basil, and for Elton John in the singles charts? 1 point for each, because they're 3 different names. Which one-word boys' names were UK hit singles for Lady Gaga, for Tony Basil, and for Elton John in the singles charts? 1 point for each. See how you do there. Again, keep the answers to yourself. Don't put them in the comments. Your next question is a 5-pointer. 5 points for the next question. And if you've watched any of the shows before where we've done a potluck round, then you'll know the kind of question that's on the way, I'm sure. So, question 12. The chemical symbols of which 5 elements spell the word heroic when placed next to each other? The chemical symbols of which 5 elements spell the word heroic when placed next to each other? 5 elements. Name them for 1 point each. Whilst you're thinking about that, what I need to do, because I haven't really mentioned it yet, I will talk about it in more detail after this, but I need to share a link with you in the comments here to remind you all about the nominated charity. If you can afford to donate anything towards the running of the quiz, first and foremost, I ask that you donate to Secret Santa 365. The link is in the description and it is also now in the comments. So don't let it take you away from watching now, but by all means go and have a look afterwards. And if you can afford to give a few pounds their way, that's the first place I'd like you, if you could afford to support what we do here. They're doing a lot of important work through this pandemic in particular, and now they're building up to Christmas. It's again particularly busy for them, so they really do need some help. Right, question 13. Question 13. True or false, Kim is the youngest of the Kardashian sisters? True or false, Kim is the youngest of the Kardashian sisters? You are forgiven for not knowing who they are completely. So don't worry if you get this one wrong. But yes, question 13. True or false, Kim is the youngest of the Kardashian sisters? Okay, this next question is the Patreon sponsored question I mentioned earlier on. So it's Amanda's turn this time. Thank you very much, Amanda, as always, for being a Patreon of mine. One of the rewards you get at that level of being a Patreon is that you can have your own question on a subject of your choosing in a live quiz, just like right now. And your subject that you wanted was something along the lines of 80s and 90s horror. So this question is specifically on that kind of subject. See how well you do. And for everybody else as well, of course, have a go. Put these horror movie franchises into the correct order with the most movies in the franchise first. Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Put these horror movie franchises into the correct order with the most movies in the franchise first. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, Gabby, I do mean the famous author Kim Kardashian. Yes, the famous author. Oh, Anna says, sorry, won't make tonight. Friend popped around with my present for Thursday. Oh, okay. That's all right, Anna. Thank you for popping by. We'll be here every Tuesday for the next 4 weeks. And then the last one of the month will be Patreon again. So plenty more quizzes for you. You can always watch again when you can. I'll be posting these quizzes. As always, I save them and post them so you can just catch up with them another day. Okay, your last question then in the potluck round, everybody, is question 15. Which were the 3 most popular energy drinks purchased in the United Kingdom in 2019? Now, you don't have to put them in order, but which were the 3 most popular energy drinks purchased in the UK through 2019? Let me know now in the comments if you'd like any questions at all repeated. No, the famous lawyer, Emma says. Kim Kardashian? Interesting. Yes, it's Anna's birthday on Thursday. I thought that's what she meant. Looks like my granddad's watching as well. Hi there, Grandad. Hope you're well. How are the budgies? I hope they're not playing you up too much. Yes, let me know if you want any questions repeated then, guys, and I'll go through the answers for that potluck round. And then we move on to round number 2. But yes, as I was mentioned earlier on, Secret Santa 365, I shared earlier on that they have launched the start of their Secret Santa for like December campaign. So Christmas is obviously, for a lot of people, Christmas is on the way. Charities like this that do a lot over Christmas as well need to prepare for that. So they're welcoming any donations at all. If you go onto my main page, you can see the sort of things they're asking for. But we can still help them out just with donations as your support for the quiz if you want. James, thanks for stopping by, mate. Hope you're doing okay. No worries, mate. You can join in whenever you want, mate. Jan says, can you repeat the whole round? Sorry for being late. Tuesday's my gym day and just managed to get back. Hello everyone. That's okay, Jan. You'll get the repeats that people ask for specifically in that case. You can always listen again another day. James says 1 and 2. All right, so question number 1 was, which company invented double mint chewing gum? which company invented double mint chewing gum? Question 2 was, what words do Americans use for what we call a holiday, wardrobe, and a lift? What words do Americans use for what we call a holiday, a wardrobe, and a lift? Oh, that's okay, James. No worries. Andy says he reckons it's out of 38, and yes, I reckon you're right, Andy. Thanks for that. Yeah, James had a good. He's good. Had a lie in today. Good, mate. You deserve that. Absolutely deserve it. Been working really hard with old Keep Calm and Listen In. Great music as always. It's a shame that the regular shows have come to an end now, but I know you'll be back this Saturday. I know you're going to do one, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, so that seems to be all there is for the repeats. I will give a few more seconds to see if anything else wants to come in for another repeat. I can do a couple more. But what I'll say quickly now, the reason that I've put this picture here in the bottom right hand corner there of your screen, which is Waffle On, as opposed to the regular logo up there, is because as of today, this is now a new design in my merch store that you could get any of the usual merchandise from the merch store. You can get this on it instead, or as well, as this logo now. And to celebrate the fact I've launched my second design, you can, from tomorrow, or from midnight tonight, get 15% off for the next 4 days, I think it is. So if you did want to get anything, this will be a good time to do it. I would normally do these maybe once a month at the minute, it's looking like, where you get 15% off. If you want to get anything from the store to help support what I do, then please do have a look into that, and you can have either that one or that one on pretty much anything. T-shirts, hoodies, bags, baseball caps, bandanas for dogs. Yeah, seriously, all sorts. And the newest thing they've added to the stores that I use is stickers. So you can now get a Big Quiz Night In sticker, which Abby's already said she wants, of course, and I will probably want one as well. So you can get that or that on a sticker now. They're quite big stickers. For reference, I don't know. They're quite big stickers though. Go have a look. The link is in the description of the video, and you can get 2 designs and now stickers as well. It's all very fun, exciting stuff. Right, let me go through the answers, and then we've got one more thing I think to talk about, and then we'll go to the next round. That horror question is tricky, Amanda says. Loved it, thanks. You're welcome. It is quite tricky, actually. Yeah. But I enjoyed looking it up and reminding myself of all those films, because I like all those kind of horror films as well. Been a long time since I watched them. Andy says, I'm regretting writing in the notebook now. The original design will go for thousands in a few years. Andy, no, you can still get the old one. It's just that I've got a second one now as well. It's not replaced it. There's a new design that goes with it, and you can pick and choose which one you want. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be worth millions. One can hope. Here's the answers for potluck then. Question number 1. Which company invented double mint chewing gum? It is Wrigley's. Question 2. What words do Americans use for what we call a holiday, a wardrobe, and a lift? They are vacation, a closet, and an elevator. Question 3. What does the government abbreviation HMRC mean to Rishi Sunak? Or just in general, really. For 1 point for each correct word, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Question 4. Which Prime Minister published a book called Blood, Sweat and Tears? That was Winston Churchill. Question 5. Is a Tyrolean grey a type of dog, a pig or a cheese? It is a cheese made from the milk of the Tyrolean grey cattle. Question 6. Which are the longest bones in the human body? It is the femur on your thigh, the tibia, your shin, and the fibula on your lower leg. Question 7. What nationalities were the popular literary characters named Count Dracula and Abraham von Helsing and their creator Bram Stoker? So Count Dracula was Romanian, Abraham van Helsing Dutch, and Bram Stoker was Irish. I never knew that until I got this question. Question number 8. What would a Cockney be speaking if they mentioned Britney Spears, Johnny Cash, and Andy Murray, according to Cockney slang? Britney Spears is beers, Johnny Cash is a slash, and Andy Murray is a curry. Question 9. What would a police officer be expecting if he called for an ARV? It is an armed response vehicle. Again, 1 point for each correct word. Question 10. On April Fool's Day in 2019, Liverpool Street, King's Cross and Edinburgh Waverley became the last stations in the UK to abolish which charge? It was using the toilet. Question 11. Which one-word boys' names were UK hit singles for Lady Gaga, for Tony Basil and for Elton John in the singles charts? It is Alejandro for Lady Gaga. Tony Basil sang about Mickey. And Elton John sang about Daniel. Question 12 now. The chemical symbols of which 5 elements spell the word heroic when placed next to each other? It is hydrogen, erbium, oxygen, iodine, and carbon. 1 point for each. Question 13. True or false? Kim is the youngest of the Kardashian sisters. It is false. It's Khloe, apparently. Khloe Kardashian's the youngest. Question 14. Put these horror movie franchises into the correct order with the most movies in the franchise first. The 3 I gave you to choose from were Halloween, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Currently in the lead with the most movies is Friday the 13th. Then it's Halloween. Then it's Nightmare on Elm Street. So Friday the 13th has got 12, Halloween has got 11, Nightmare on Elm Street has got 9. And I say currently because of the 3, Halloween has got 2 more movies slated over the next couple of years, whereas the other franchises don't. So in a year or 2 years' time, in theory, if those movies come out, this question's going to change a lot, but I probably will use it again at some point. So yeah, Friday the 13th had the most, then Halloween, then Nightmare on Elm Street. Question 15. Which were the 3 most popular energy drinks purchased in the UK in 2019? It is Red Bull, most popular was Red Bull, then Lucozade, then Monster. You can give yourself a point for each, regardless of the order you wrote them in. So there are your answers. Tally up your scores and let me know in the comments how you got on in that round. Let's see those team scores come in. I'm going to grab myself my next beer. And I cannot wait to see how well you've done. So give me 1 moment. Keep those scores coming in. Okay. Back in black have got themselves 25 points. Devises Uno, 24 points. Diva's got 26. Tracy, not bad, 29 points. 20 points for the solo dog. Well done to Tony. Good effort. I'm not sure how many actual teams of people we've got watching tonight. It's a quiet one, isn't it? Emma says 25 points. Good score there, Emma. Well done. It's also nice that quite a few of you, or some of you, not only are you watching along now, but you're also the people that are also coming to the pub now they've reopened and now the quiz is back. I'm always keen to hear feedback on how you think it's going and what are your thoughts. So unless it's going to be too negative, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm keen to talk to people about it because I don't get to talk to you at all really at the pub because I stay in my booth hosting the quiz and I don't go out. Obviously for obvious reasons. Andy says 30 points. Oh, it's gone. 30 for the Kings and Queens. Proper decent, that. Yes, that is a good score. 23 points for Jan. Was trying to come up with answers before you provided them. Great round. Well, Jan, you did very well. Gabby says, I got 26 on my own. Not sure where the other cell marketeers are. Tag them in the comments. I'm sure I saw Roz's name pop up, though. Andy says this, my lucky notebook. Then Toto 28, Ant says 28 points. Oh, Jason says bingo's been great. Yeah, it's been nice to get the bingo going again at the Sunday quiz nights, Jace, hasn't it? Especially for him, because he won the jackpot the last time. Oh dear. That was good. Maddie's here. Hello, Maddie. You've been quiet in the comments this evening, but GeForce have got 29 points. That's a great round. Well done. Okay. Looking good. Emma says, I was terrible at the pub. George carried our team. Oh, it was good fun, though. It's nice to see a lot of familiar faces. That is nice to see. Round number 2 is around Europe. That's round number 2. Oh, Andrew's just dropping in a comment there. 29 points. Well done, Andrew. That's a good score as well. Looks like, I think... Oh, James says on my own, all the threes 33. I think that is the top score. Yeah, well done, James. Very well done. That's a great score. Almost the maximum. Maddie says, I've been out of the loop for a few weeks and keep forgetting. Oh, that's okay. I've had to obviously change the schedule quite a lot. And then not going live at the pub anymore, only going live on Tuesdays, changed it again. So it's totally understandable if you've been out of the loop for your own reasons and you don't catch up, it's fine. But welcome back. Jace is flying solo too tonight. Where's the rest of Back in Black? Eh? Where's the rest of the team? I know technically Andy's in a different team tonight, isn't he? But there's certainly some others that could be playing tonight. Right, more waffle on will follow, I'm sure. But let's go on to round number 2 then, which is around Europe. So, Jan, I hope you're paying attention because I'm expecting a good score from you, my friend. We shall see. Question number 1 now. Question number 1. In which country are the Trudeau's Mountains? In which country are the Trudeau's Mountains or Troodos Mountains? Troodos. Yeah, sorry, James. All the scores flew by quite quickly there, but I always try to scroll through and see if I've missed any, and I just managed to see yours, so well done. Jace, don't think they've realised? Oh, that's outrageous. I only say that I hope you do well in this round because it is about Europe, and you're obviously in Poland, and you probably know a lot more about Europe than maybe somebody over here would. I'm just guessing, but I reckon you'll do well. Question 2. Which is Europe's most northerly capital city? Which is Europe's most northerly capital city? It's certainly well travelled, so I reckon that's going to be a big helping hand. Which is Europe's most northerly capital city? And you do have to just name the city on that one. You don't have to give me the country, just the city name. Question 3 is for 3 points. Aeroflot, TAP, and Pegasus Airlines originated in which 3 countries? Aeroflot, TAP, and Pegasus Airlines originated in which 3 countries? TAP is literally just TAP. Aeroflot, AEROFLOT, and then Pegasus Airlines. Which countries did they originate? They're all different, so 1 point for each. Yes, I think now we've got these 4 quizzes in a row before the next Patreon one. I think that will hopefully help remind everybody and get people back into the rhythm of it being a regular quiz night. I was always going to struggle when I had to change it. Always going to struggle. So hopefully we can get it all back. But yeah, do speak to people that we would normally quiz with and make sure they're aware that we'll be doing this every Tuesday if they're not already. Question number 4 now. Question 4. Excluding the Vatican City, which is the smallest country in Europe by size? Excluding the Vatican City, Which is the smallest country in Europe by size? Okay, question number 5 now. Whereabouts in Europe could you find Barbary apes breeding in the wild? Whereabouts in Europe could you find Barbary apes breeding in the wild? Okay. Your next question then, question number 6. The Brenner Pass links which 2 European nations? The Brenner Pass, Brenner. The Brenner Pass links which 2 European nations? Okay, let's move on. Question number 7 now. On which European island is the Palace of Knossos? On which European island is the Palace of Knossos? Plenty of multiple point questions again through this round actually. Your next one is for another 3 points. Again, we'll do repeats at the end, just let me know. Question 8. In which European cities could you find the international airports named in honour of Charles de Gaulle, Marco Polo and Mother Teresa of Calcutta? In which European cities could you find the international airports named in honour of Charles de Gaulle, Marco Polo and Mother Teresa of Calcutta? James, did you want me to spell the previous one, the Palace of Knossos? That's in the comments now if that's what you meant. I think Americans say it without the K, but I think the British way of pronouncing it is Knossos. I don't know if that's how it's actually spelled, where this place is, but from what I could find out, that's how we pronounce it. Question number 9. In which country is the European Court of Justice? In which country is the European Court of Justice? No problem, James. Glad I could help. Question number 10 is about flags. Which colours are the 3 stripes on Romania's national flag? Which colours are the 3 stripes on Romania's national flag? I always find with those kind of questions, I always seem to do okay with those ones because of all the times I've played like football manager games and like FIFA and things like that. It's always to do with football. I seem to know nations' flags and remember them from all the years I've spent doing that. That's at least how I tend to remember these questions anyway, or these answers. Question 11 is a 1-point question. Which country operates the busiest seaport in Europe? Which country operates the busiest seaport in Europe? For 1 point. Okay, your next question then. Question number 12 is for 3 more points. What are the names of the 3 Baltic states in Europe? What are the names of the 3 Baltic states in Europe? 1 point for each. James says, my Romanian nurse colleagues will never forgive me if I get that wrong. No, they won't. I'm sure. Well, fingers crossed for you. We won't tell them if you're wrong, don't worry. What are the names of the 3 Baltic states in Europe? 1 point for each. Question 13 then. Question number 13. How many stars are on the EU flag? How many stars are on the EU flag? Two more questions left. 3 points for the next one, and 15 will be a 6-pointer. So, question 14 for 3 points. What are the capital cities of Norway, Belarus, and Bulgaria? Question 14 again. What are the capital cities of Norway, Belarus, and Bulgaria? Oh, Tracy says, my geography is shocking. I'm not sure we're going to get double figures here. Oh dear. Yeah, James says he's good on flags. He's confident he can get it right. All right, well, we shall see. But fingers crossed. Question 15 now, the final question in our Around Europe round. Which 6 countries originally banded together to form the European Union? Which 6 countries originally banded together to form the European Union? 1 point for each. Give you a bit of thinking time with that one. Do let me know if you need a question repeated. And then we shall go through the answers, of course. Right. We shall see how you do. There's one thing I wanted to talk about actually before we go on to the next round. So whilst you're thinking about that, have a little listen. I did post about this across other pages that I run and various other social media channels for Big Quiz Night In. But the business is expanding into something new. I say the business, Big Quiz Night In is changing and growing all the time. I'm always thinking of new ways to do that. But one thing I've done now is start something called Big Game Night In. And that is for the purpose of selling a game that I have made. And I'm selling it on an Etsy store because it's something that you can download and print off and play with your kids. You only need to add a couple of dice to it. Here's Chippy. Just in time, mate. I'm just talking about something I made. And then we're going to move on to the answers for round 2. So thank you for joining me. Your quiz round is coming up. But anyway, I've made something out of the old fortune teller, origami fortune teller. And I've turned it into a role-playing game for kids, a fantasy role-playing game. And yeah, it's for sale in my Etsy store, Big Game Night In. It's the only thing for sale in there at the minute because I've only just launched it. And it's like £3.60 basically, and you get your own characters, and you go through what's called the labyrinth of Snowstar, and you find crystals and fight monsters, and yeah, it's really fun, especially for ages that my kids are, at least I'd say from 5 to 12 years old maybe, to play with the parents as well joining in. So yeah, I'm going to post a link for it. Do check it out if you know anybody who might be interested. Like I said, £3.60 it is all in, and then you get a free download of the game. You print it off yourself, you fold the fortune teller together, you get some dice, and you're away. Dead easy, lots of fun. So yeah, that's my latest thing. Yeah, no more repeats for that round, it looks like. But anyway, if you'd like to check that out, if you can go onto another device, there is the link in the comments. Something else to pass the time with the kids and keep them away from media for a few hours, I guess. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Something a bit different. All right, let's go through the answers then, because it seems that you're either all struggling or you don't need any repeats. So question number 1, in which country are the Troodos Mountains? That is Cyprus. Question 2, which is Europe's most northerly capital city? It is Reykjavik in Iceland. Question 3, Aeroflot, TAP and Pegasus Airlines originated in which 3 countries? It is Russia, Portugal and Turkey. Jan says shipping to Poland. It's downloadable. You don't have to ship it anywhere. You just download it and print it off. It's a PDF. But yeah, feel free to have a look and pass it on. Please do. Okay, question 4. Excluding the Vatican City, which is the smallest country in Europe by size? It is Monaco. Question 5. Whereabouts in Europe can you find Barbary apes breeding in the wild? It is Gibraltar. Question 6. The Brenner Pass links which 2 European nations? It is Austria and Italy. Question 7. On which European island is the Palace of Knossos? That is Crete. Question 8. In which European cities could you find the international airports named in honour of Charles de Gaulle, Marco Polo and Mother Teresa of Calcutta? It is Paris, Venice and Tirana, which is in Albania. Okay, your next question was question number 9. In which country is the European Court of Justice? That was Luxembourg. Question 10. Which colours are the 3 stripes on Romania's national flag? It is blue, yellow and red. Question 11. Which country operates the busiest seaport in Europe? It is Netherlands. It's in Rotterdam. Question 12. What are the names of the 3 Baltic states in Europe? They are Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Question 13. How many stars are on the EU flag? There are 12. There's a common misconception that they represent member states that are part of the EU, or the first ones, and then they're not. They're not. They represent the values. I think it is the values of the EU. Yeah. So 12 is the answer there. Question 14. What are the capital cities of Norway, Belarus and Bulgaria? It is Oslo, Minsk and Sofia. And question 15. Which 6 countries originally banded together to form the European Union? It is Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg and the Netherlands. Again, 1 point for each. Well done, Andy. You got 12 right. Not going to get this job on an ongoing basis, Andy says. 31 points in total, you reckon? Yeah, I think so. Is it Monaco part of France? Jan says. Well, it's not what I've got here, mate. The answer is Monaco. Okay. Oh, don't know why I clicked on that. Right. Let's see your scores. If you need me to repeat any of those answers again, let me know. Tally up your scores. Let's see how well you did. And then we can move on to tonight's Patreon-sponsored round, which will be an Inner Geekdom round. And it's not just a normal Inner Geekdom round. There's some extra subjects that have been added in because it was requested by Chippy, who's now watching live. I hope you're doing well, mate. So thank you, as always, for being a Patreon, and I really hope you enjoy this round. And I hope we don't scare off too many people who wonder what on earth I'm talking about. James says Monaco is correct, yes. Diva's got 18 points. Devises Uno a measly 12. 18 for Back in Black. Yes, 12 points for Andy. I guess that means blimey. Tony's got 22 points. 22 out of 31 for Kings and Queens. Having a regal night. Very good. Okay, keep those scores coming in. Let's see how well the rest of you did. And then we can move on to that Patreon round. And once again, if you'd like your own, all the links are in the description. If you want to support me in any way, all the links you need are in the description of the video and indeed in all my videos. So do check them out. Tracy says, woohoo, smash double figures, 13 points. Ant says, Ventuno, 21 points. Very good. Gary says 25 points. Yes, half a dozen. That was from Ant, those scores. Haha, thanks, Chris. Sorry, everyone, for this next round. It's okay. We have done Inner Geekdom rounds before. I've tried to make it as fair as I possibly can. The really tricky questions, or some of the really tricky questions, I've given multiple choice for and stuff, so we'll be all right, I'm sure. James says on my own, 26. I got the Romanian flag colours correct. Phew! 24 points for Jan, thanks to my wife's input. Poland and Ukrainian union mode on. Very good. I was hoping you'd do well. And you did. Who's next? 10 points for Emma. Geography is really not my thing. It's all right. Oh, we have a laugh, don't we? Don't you worry. Okay, round number 3 then is going to be this Inner Geekdom round I've been talking about. And what I will do as well, just send you a little reminder. Yeah, Ant says I forgot about my team. There's the link again for Secret Santa 365. Please do have a look at my latest post about them on the main quiz page, and of course on their own page, and indeed on that link I've just shared with you to keep up to date with what they're doing. If you can support anybody, please support them first. If you can do more than that, you're welcome to support me. Links in the description. Right, round number 3, Inner Geekdom. Now, Chippy's asked for... Initially, he asked for questions about X-Men, Studio Ghibli, retro games, and he threw loads of ideas my way about the sort of things he'd like. And I said, well, if you're going to throw me all these subjects, why don't I do an Inner Geekdom round, which can then be a potluck round about all things geeky, and just make a lot of the questions about things you are geeky about as well. And that way it's kind of a bit fairer for everybody, but also still about things that he loves. So we came to an agreement, and that's what it's all about when it comes to the Patreon quiz rounds, because I don't want to scare off too many people, but I also want to give the Patreons what they want. So, with that said, here we go with question number 1 in tonight's round 3 Inner Geekdom. Which of the Lord of the Rings trilogy took us to the Battle of Helm's Deep? Which of the Lord of the Rings trilogy took us to the Battle of Helm's Deep? That is question number 1. I could make it multiple choice, but I think you might know what those choices are. And if you don't, you need to check out the films at least, please. Preferably the director's cuts. My God, they're amazing. Question number 2. Which of the X-Men had the real names of Dr. Hank McCoy, Scott Summers, and Aurora Monroe? Which of the X-Men had the real names of Dr. Hank McCoy, Scott Summers, and Aurora Monroe? 1 point for each. I'll say the names again. Dr. Hank McCoy, Scott Summers, and Aurora Monroe. Which X-Men characters were they? Okay, question number 3. Which Studio Ghibli movie featured characters called Sophie Hatter and the Witch of the Waste? Which Studio Ghibli movie featured characters called Sophie Hatter and the Witch of the Waste? I haven't seen many of these movies myself, to be honest. I know there's a lot of highly rated ones they've done, but no, I've hardly seen any of them. Your next question's about retro gaming. In fact, your next 2 questions are. So question 4. What were the names of Sega's Hedgehog, Fox, and Echidna? What were the names of Sega's Hedgehog, Fox, and Echidna? 1 point for each. Oh, Maddie lost her Wi-Fi. 21 points for the Around Europe Geography round. That's a good effort. Well done. This round's probably going to be a bit tougher. James says, haven't got a Scooby. I'm sure you won't be the only one. I hope you get some points, though. Yeah, so what were the names of Sega's Hedgehog, Fox, and Echidna? Question 5. What are the names of Super Mario's brother, his arch enemy, and the damsel in distress he always needs to save? What are the names of Super Mario's brother, his arch enemy, and the damsel in distress he always needs to save? That's question 5 for 3 points. Question 6. In the X-Men, Wolverine's skeleton is coated in a near unbreakable metal alloy, but what is it called? I'll give you multiple choice, okay? Thank goodness, say most of the people watching. Is it unobtainium, adamantium, or vibranium? In the X-Men, Wolverine's skeleton is coated in a near unbreakable metal alloy, but what is it called? Is it unobtainium, adamantium, or vibranium? Choose one. Question number 7. Question 7's for 4 points. What does the games console abbreviation SNES stand for? What does the games console abbreviation SNES stand for? I'll pop it in the comments for you in case you really are not aware of this classic games console. What does that stand for? 1 point for each correct word. What does the games console abbreviation SNES stand for? James says, I don't feel inadequate as I did well in the previous 2 rounds. Yeah, exactly. And you know, I always say this, but if you don't like one particular subject, if you're really struggling in one, the next quiz I do will be totally different. And you know, things will change again. So yeah, that's just how it is, isn't it? It's only easy if you know the answer. Question number 8. What do Americans call what we call the Sega Mega Drive? Another retro console. That's one I had, actually. What do Americans call what we call the Sega Mega Drive? It's still Sega over there, but they gave it another name instead of Mega Drive. So what was that? Question number 9 now. Question 9. Which retro gaming character was an anthropomorphic egg wearing boxing gloves? Which retro gaming character was an anthropomorphic egg wearing boxing gloves? There's multiple games with this character across multiple platforms. I think Spectrum, ZX, Commodore 64, Atari, Amiga, possibly on handheld as well, handheld games. Yeah. An anthropomorphic egg wearing boxing gloves. One particular game in this franchise I played to death. Loved it. Okay, question number 10. I'm going to give you the answers for this one. You just need to put them in the right order. You've heard similar questions on different subjects before. Question number 10. Put these Studio Ghibli feature films into the correct order with the earliest released first. When Marnie Was There, Tales from Earthsea, and Spirited Away. The earliest released first, okay? Put these Studio Ghibli feature films into the correct order with the earliest release first. When Marnie Was There, Tales from Earthsea, and Spirited Away. 3 points if you get it in the right order. Yeah, My Death or the Egg's Death. Jan, very definitely the eggs. And it was very frustrating because he only had one life in the game I had. And I only found out today in researching this question why they made the design choice to give the character just one life instead of having multiples and having him respawn. No, when you lost your life in that game, you had to start all over again. Yeah, notorious it was. There you go. Now it's just getting silly. Are you sure you're not making these up? No, Maddie, I'm not making these up. Okay. I say for question 11. Question 11. In which retro arcade game would you first find Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde? In which retro arcade game would you first find Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde? They're all in the same game. Very, very famous. I'm not sure what Andy's referring to as terrifying here. You might have to clarify that one, mate. Amanda says, love Studio Ghibli. Yeah. I knew there'd be some that did. I knew there'd be some. All right. Question number 12. Which of the X-Men movies has the highest and which has the lowest scores on the movie critic site Rotten Tomatoes? In other words, which movie is critically considered the best and which one is critically considered the worst of all the X-Men movies? Which of the X-Men movies has the highest and the lowest scores on the movie critic site Rotten Tomatoes? 1 point for each, the best and the worst. Studio Ghibli have been making hand-drawn animated movies for decades. That's what they do. Japanese company. Yeah. There's stunning artwork. I've seen, like I said, I've not seen many of the films all the way through, but I'm aware of it. So that's what it is, if you didn't know. The One Life games always terrified you, Blunder. Oh, yes, Andy. Yeah, totally. Permadeath, they call it now. In modern gaming. Permadeath. It's like, yeah, try playing these games. All right, question number 13. This is really, for me, this was a really interesting question when I found this out. Which well-known Lord of the Rings actor provided the voice for the Witch King in addition to the part they were famous for? Is it Christopher Lee, Andy Serkis, or Ian McKellen? See, I made another one multiple choice, so if you haven't got a clue, and if you have no idea what Lord of the Rings is, then you can have a guess because you know one of the answers is going to be one of the three, right? Which well-known Lord of the Rings actor provided the voice for the Witch King in addition to the part that they're famous for? Is it Christopher Lee, Andy Serkis, or Ian McKellen? Oh, sorry, Tracy. She's got no clue what's going on now. Totally lost. Oh, dear. Your next question is multiple choice as well. Multiple choice, okay. How many episodes of Dragon Ball Z have there been? Is it 201, 291, or 321? How many episodes of Dragon Ball Z have there been? 201, 291, 321. Choose one. Just one more question to go in this round, guys. All right. Question 15, multiple choice. No, not multiple choice, sorry. Question 15 is for 3 points. In which movies does Martin Freeman first play Hobbit Bilbo Baggins, Deputy Task Force Commander Everett K. Ross, and the hapless protagonist Arthur Dent? In which movies does Martin Freeman first play Hobbit Bilbo Baggins, Deputy Task Force Commander Everett K. Ross, and the hapless protagonist Arthur Dent. 1 point for each correct answer. 3 different movies, all from the realms of inner geekdom, shall I say. Maddie says, I was part of a reconstruction of a video game when I was an extra in Taskmaster. That's cool. We love Taskmaster. Had no idea what I was doing as had never played it. What was the game? We've seen every episode of that. I can't think what it would be. I also don't want to have a guess at what it could be because it might be one of the answers through this quiz round. I think about that. Maddie, if you let me know, wait till I do the answers. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you can remember what game it was. But that's cool. Absolutely love Taskmaster. It's going to be on Channel 4 now. The next series, whenever they get to make it or release it, if they haven't made it already. Although apparently they're keeping it as it was on Dave, just a new channel, new home, but still. Anybody like a question repeated? If that would help you, let me know now, and I will. I'm very keen to hear what Chippy's score is. You better have done well, my friend. Oh, you helped Rod Gilbert. Okay, all right, that could be easy to work out then. Chippy says, brilliant, thanks Chris, and sorry all, well done for sticking with it. Oh, Clive's had a guess at which one it is. It's out of 27, plus whatever marks for question 3, which I missed. Out of 27, 28, so 28 points in total. Okay. Question 15 again, Ed says, okay, in which movies does Martin Freeman first play Hobbit Bilbo Baggins, Deputy Task Force Commander Everett K. Ross, and the hapless protagonist Arthur Dent? I had to call it hapless protagonist because that's just how he's described when you look it up. There's no other way I could have described it. It's very unusual, but it's a fun movie, though. Please don't repeat anything, my head's spinning. Oh, Tracy. Chippy, we've broken Tracy. It's not good. Sure, it will all make sense when we've done the answers. Or it'll make it worse. But either way, at least the round will be done. It's fun, though. I like doing those rounds, but then I'm pretty geeky as well, so I don't mind. We don't do them every week, though. You know that. Okay, all right, I'm going to go through. I haven't seen any more requests for repeats, so I'm going to go through the answers now, guys. Don't forget, before you all go, though, at the end of this, there will be a picture round shared, which is completely different to what you've had tonight. Here we go with the answers, everybody. Question number 1, which of the Lord of the Rings trilogy took us to the Battle of Helm's Deep? It is the Two Towers, which is the second one of the 3 films and books. Question 2, which of the X-Men had the real... sorry, hold on. Question 15 for Ed, not me. You had no idea. Did I say you? I thought I said Ed. Okay, all right. Well, question 15 was for Ed. Yeah. Sorry, which of the X-Men had the real names of Dr. Hank McCoy, Scott Summers and Aurora Monroe? Dr. Hank McCoy was Beast. Scott Summers was Cyclops. And Aurora Monroe was Storm. Question 3, which Studio Ghibli movie featured characters called Sophie Hatter and the Witch of the Waste? That was in Howl's Moving Castle. Question 4, what were the names of Sega's Hedgehog, Fox and Echidna? Sonic the Hedgehog? Some of you must have got that right, surely. His friend Tails the Fox, whose real name, fun fact, is Miles Prower, as in miles per hour, because they run really fast. Miles Prower, but Tails was the answer really that I needed. And the Echidna is Knuckles. Question 5, what are the names of Super Mario's brother, his arch enemy, and the damsel in distress he always needs to save? Your answers for that were Luigi, is his brother, Bowser, is the villain, and Princess Peach is the one he's always saving. Question 6. In the X-Men, Wolverine's skeleton is coated in a near unbreakable metal alloy. What is it called? Is it unobtainium, adamantium, or vibranium? All three of those appear in science fiction, by the way. I haven't made any of those up myself. The correct answer is adamantium. Whenever an unbreakable metal is referred to in the X-Men movies, for example, it's always adamantium. And then in the Marvel movies, the MCU with the Avengers, it's vibranium, because they haven't got the same rights to different stuff. So, yeah. Unobtainium is something that's in Avatar, which has got some sequels coming out soon, eventually. There you go, random segue. Question 7. What does the game's console abbreviation SNES stand for? It was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which had an amazing Mario Kart game. Question 8. What do Americans call what we call the Sega Mega Drive? They called it the Sega Genesis because there was a legal dispute with a company who had Mega Drive in their company name, and they didn't like it, so... Question number 9. Which retro gaming character was an anthropomorphic egg wearing boxing gloves? It was called Dizzy. I played, the one I was talking about, I played Treasure Island Dizzy on my Amiga as a kid. I played that one to death. And yeah, one of the notoriously toughest ones in the whole franchise of their games, from what I've read since doing a question on this. But a lot of fun. Question 10. Put these Studio Ghibli feature films into the correct order with the earliest released first. The 3 you had to choose from was When Marnie Was There, Tales from Earthsea, and Spirited Away. It is in the correct order: earliest release first, Spirited Away, then Tales from Earthsea, and then When Marnie Was There for 3 points. Question 11. In which retro arcade game would you first find Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde? They are the ghosts in Pac-Man. That's what they were called. I've had that on my mind a lot lately because my kids love the Minecraft version of Pac-Man that you can get, and they absolutely love it. So yeah, my son in particular now knows everything about Pac-Man. Pretty much, he's obsessed. Question 12. Which of the X-Men movies was the highest and the lowest scored on the movie critics site Rotten Tomatoes? With 90%, which is a very good Rotten Tomatoes score, because obviously it's out of 100, Days of Future Past is the highest rated, and that was in 2014. The worst of the lot, 22%, which is a real stinker of a score, Dark Phoenix, which came out last year, and I haven't seen it. But yeah, apparently it's not very good. So I'm quite glad that Disney now own the rights, or Marvel rather, within Disney, now own the rights to X-Men, and they can do hopefully something better with it. Question 13. Which well-known Lord of the Rings actor provided the voice of the Witch King in addition to the part they are most famous for? Was it Christopher Lee, Andy Serkis, or Ian McKellen? It's Andy Serkis. He provides the voice for the Witch King, I think particularly in The Fellowship of the Ring and then in Return of the King as well. But yeah, that's an Andy Serkis voiced character. Question 14. How many episodes of Dragon Ball Z have there been? Was it 201, 291, or 321? There have been 291 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I've never seen any of them. I'm sorry, Chippy. I could have done a different question there, but I just thought I need to keep this simple and give it multiple choice. Question, where are we now? Question 15, the last question. In which movies does Martin Freeman first play The Hobbit, Bilbo Baggins, Deputy Task Force Commander Everett K. Ross, and the hapless protagonist Arthur Dent? He plays Hobbit, Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. He plays Everett K. Ross in Captain America Civil War, who then reprises his role in Black Panther, at least, I think, if not more. I think it's just Black Panther at the minute. And then he plays Arthur Dent in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for 3 points. Yeah, Logan. Do you know, Ed, when I was looking at this on Rotten Tomatoes, I just looked up the X-Men movies. And when I looked up X-Men, obviously Logan wouldn't have come up. So if we're talking X-Men movies, with X-Men therefore in the title, then the answer is Days of Future Past. That's why maybe it didn't come up. But you can give yourself a point for Logan. It's fine. If this were the pub quiz, I'd have to change everything. But give yourself a point for Logan if you put that instead, everybody, okay? That's fine. Should have come up in the search anyway, really. Should be smart enough to do that, but it didn't, so. James says, what a guess. Which one did you guess amazingly at? And everybody, let me know what your scores were for that round. But I won't be offended if you don't put your answers in. If you don't want to put the team scores in because you struggled, it's entirely up to you. That was the last round of the evening, though. So let's have a quick look at how well you did, if you'd like to share. And let's all see how well Chippy did on his special Patreon round. If you'd like your own round on Patreon or just your own question, you can look at my Patreon and join the tier that's right for you. And of course, if you join at the Top Fan Plus tier or above, you could be, and you are then perfectly allowed and invited to the Patreon-only quiz night, which I do on the last Tuesday of the month. So it won't be on Facebook Live. As I did last week, you get to take part in that quiz. And it's a lot of fun. We do different games, and it's totally different to this kind of quiz night. It's done on Google Meet. I screen share and share a fun game for everybody to play. You split into two teams, and it's been great. I've been really happy, really pleased with how that's been working. So look forward to the one this month. And if you join this month, you'll be invited to the one next month, because payment's taken on the 1st of every month. But please do consider supporting me today. Thank you. All right, let's see your scores then. Oh boy, half a dozen got 17. Yeah, I'm not going to try and read that after that. I know you're probably saying the numbers in a different language, but I don't know. 13 points for Back in Black. Diva's got 3 points. I mean, you got points. Let's be real here. Getting points in a round you're not familiar with is good. Thanks again. Enjoyed that from Sardinia. Ah, yes. Well done to half a dozen. I'm so pleased you could join me from where you are. Tracy says, managed 13 thanks to my other half, and I got 8 on my own, but 4 of those points were for knowing what SNES stood for. But that's good. It's still points. That's amazing. Well done. James says, on my own, 16. Not bad for a non-geek. I guess 291 correctly. If I'm in doubt, always go down the middle. Yeah, that's why I put them in that order, because I know that rule too. Andy says a respectable 20 out of 28 for Kings and Queens, also known as Amanda and Ed, as I knew approximately nothing. Oh, fair play. Gabby says everyone should go watch Studio Ghibli films. I got 22. Okay, so 24 points. Well done, Jan. He says, I'm such a geek. Maddie says, GeForce a laughable 5. Yes, it was Space Invaders in Taskmaster. Hilarious fun, grunting and moving side to side in a sumo position while Rod threw tennis balls at us. And yes, new series has been made. They are doing audience screenings at a cinema in London this week. Oh, that's awesome. That's so good to know. And well done for taking part in that. I might have to go back and watch that episode now because I remember it. Now you've said it. I'll keep an eye out for you. That's hilarious. Fair play to you. Okay, guys, so I think everybody else is hiding their scores from me, which is totally fine. I'll be sharing, as you can see up here, it'll say Celebrity Drag Queens picture round will be posted on the Big Quiz Night In page that you're watching this video on, of course, very soon, and the answers will be then posted later in the comments. Please do consider following me on Twitter and Instagram at Big Quiz Night In, and also on Limor. And if you don't know what Limor is, have a look at what I've been sharing over the last few days. They're little audio clips of quizzes, so you have a little audio quiz to do every day to keep yourself occupied if you have any spare time. And if you follow me directly on Limor, then you can leave your answers directly in the comments. I've got plenty of links in the description here of ways you can support me, but don't forget the merch store has a 15% discount starting midnight tonight, and you can get this logo on anything, this logo on anything as well, and you can get stickers now too, which is a lot of fun, I think. I'm probably going to look into get some of those, I think. myself. So yeah, do have a look. I hope you all enjoyed this quiz. Please do spread the word. Let people know that we're here on Tuesday nights now, because this is only the second one we've done, and we had the Patreon break last week, so it's going to take a while to get, I think, the numbers back up. But we'll keep banging on about it, keep telling people, spreading the word, invite your friends to like the page too, and we'll just see where it goes. And yeah, check out all the links in the description. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers, good night.